Hi, welcome to our Metal Reactions channel. I'm Brad.
I'm Alena.
We've been having a great time taking a journey through metal with you and each other.
If you enjoy our videos and would like to support us, now you can do so on Patreon.
It's €1 and will help us to put out more frequent and better quality videos. You can find the link in the description below. So, we're back to Gojira now. The song I can't pronounce. I go with Sauvage, but you speak some basic French. Can you help me out?
Super basic. I think it's more like L'Enfant Sauvage.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm probably the French people are gonna be like really mad at me. I'm sorry.
Do you know what that means in English?
It seems like a child, a savage child, a wild child, something like that.
Okay, that fits, I think, with the song. Let's get into it and see.
Let's see.
Shout out to Boris Feldman for for the suggestion, and Boris is one of our patrons as well. So
thank you.
Thanks, Boris.
Heavy. And you didn't even warn me. That is not fair.
Oops.
Yeah. What was that? Goodness.
Too much?
Yeah, like all that like really heavy and drumming and that was overwhelming at the beginning until he started singing.
Okay, that's like my favorite bits of Gojira are that type of drumming.
Okay. That's not my favorite yet. At least.
Yet.
Yeah. Well, at least I can, like, the words are quiet. You can still understand what he's singing. Yeah, so all this, like, super noise just goes away a little bit for singing.
That's part of why I did pick it, is because previously you'd said instrumentally it wasn't too heavy, it's just vocals can be too heavy at times. Mm-hmm. Here the vocals aren't too bad. But
yeah, the vocals are quite clean.
But the instruments are significantly heavier. So I was keen to see how you would do with that combination. Not well?
No!
Okay, let's carry on.
There's no way I will respond this
long outro.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we found your instrumental heaviness limit then.
Yeah, that's super heavy. Although still you can hear like some really interesting guitar parts, like in all that drumming. And the voice wasn't all that clean at the end. Yeah, there was a bit of a shock. I'm glad I had some wine with me.
The video?
That increased a little bit my tolerance.
Numbed your senses and increased your tolerance.
Yeah.
The video, quite interesting?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole song is... I don't know, it seems to me that the song is about this conflict between the nature and the... like the civilization that that people built. Sort of, they went so far away from their origin. At least that's what I think it is about. And the video also shows like this break away and run into nature, and like how nature is taking back all those, you know, cities and people and just winning all over it. So I think it's kind of a good illustration of the lyrics, probably.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think definitely the video does go hand in hand with the lyrics. So, I mean, I listened to that song for years without really paying too much attention to it, and having seen the video, that's pretty much exactly the same sort of vibe I got from it as well. Then at some point I did go and read like some quotes, or heard some quotes from the band.
And what is not it?
It is
okay. Let me dwell a little bit more.
Okay. Yep. Go for it.
Since it was just a small comment before you reveal what it's all about.
Okay. Let's go deeper.
Okay. So if we start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The aberration of this world I tried to do with it killed a part of me that was raging. So I think here the aberration of this world, basically to me, like this human civilization, like all the cities and culture that people built, it's a bit of an aberration from, again, as opposed to the natural order of things. So this is all artificial and like built upon and not really original or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is killing part of the soul or something, because we all like have this, I don't know, natural desires in us, but the civilization, it kind of caps them and doesn't let them break through and doesn't let them express themselves. And the person from this song is like running away from it, trying to break free, and he says, I owe myself life. So he gave himself some other kind of life that all those like formal institutions couldn't give him. So he credited himself with creating his own way of living. I don't quite understand the part of like anger and passion. I think these are more like of those deep natural feelings that we have, but again, the civilization doesn't let them out, doesn't let them express.
Society like numbs you almost.
Yeah, so all those extremes that are quite common like for natural things, and all those desires and stuff, they are not possible in our society where everything is regulated, and that's not necessarily a good thing, because I think the nature in here is associated with life itself, and it says that this life survived because it had in like this inherent feature of saving itself, like saving, like even without society, we didn't need to have a society to save our children and like to take care of them, and to take care of the world around us. So it was already in us, and it's not part of like the society that we built. So it came so far away from it because initially we wanted to have all those rules, probably like to survive, to continue our, I don't know, to continue living. But now we are so far away from this initial goal that it became an aberration. Yeah, and in the end it's kind of a rebellion against this. So I think like the author is convinced that you can't hide those things forever in you, and like the society can't forever suppress them. It will still get out, so better to embrace them, like to recognize them and to break free and to be again a free creature.
What do you think about that last line, "I run on time"? Because for me, that last line almost feels like society won. Like instead of now, running to the beat of your own drum, you're now running on time, i.e. in line with what society wants. But I don't know if I'm just misreading that last line.
I think like your interpretation is a bit of a contradiction to the line above, like the sky is all over me. Because to me, like this, the sky is all over me is again the sign of actual freedom, because in the big cities you don't really see much sky. But then if you're free, then everything, like there is no limit above you other than the sky. So I think it's a sign of freedom. But I ran on time, that's I don't really know. Maybe it's kind of a time is like feeding me, is like a resource.
I don't know. Maybe something to do with being with the wolf in the pack, like running along with the pack. I don't know. I don't know how to make that fit. A positive ending rather than a negative ending. I'm just seeing a negative ending.
You're seeing it. I see a positive ending. I mean, this guy, he already said that he owed himself life, so probably his life worked out.
Yeah, like, but that's why I brought it up, because the way I'm seeing it doesn't fit with the general flow of the song. So I feel I must just be wrong on that last line.
Well, maybe like timing outside and inside society is like a different thing. But I can't say exactly what is meant here. It's too short of a line. Yeah. Okay, now you can reveal the big secret.
Okay, no, not a huge secret. I mean, it's pretty close. Just subtle differences, I would say. So I've got your the title track. Blah 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 blah. So it means the wild child in French, as you said, inspired by Francois Truffaut, don't know how to say his name, film of the same name.
Never heard of it.
Okay. And then we've got a quote from Joe. He says, "When you become a musician, you don't have a boss telling you what to do, so you have to be very responsible. With freedom comes responsibility. So I'm asking myself, what is freedom? What does it mean to me?" Le Sauvage, I don't know how to say it, reflects on that. There's no answer though. There's just life and questions.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I suppose art can be a way of escape, really, because, you don't have to have like this routine job and like be on the clock with the with the civilization, sort of. You live in your own world and you create it also yourself. Although I suppose it's not entirely true. I mean, there are all those rules around music production and all that kind of stuff, but probably it's less regulated.
But so even having read that, I also still just get the feel of him being the wild child. Like, so a wild child's like like feral children, like children that grow up in the wild for for whatever reason, and they don't know like normal social interaction and stuff. So I think I remember reading the book has something to do with that. I could be wrong on that, but so this song does very much feel to me as well like he feels like that, like this wild child living in society. So rather than society as a whole and like nature as a whole, I think it's more like a personal struggle of him feeling like a wild child, like an outcast within society.
So like he doesn't belong, and he actually wants to belong.
I don't know if he wants to belong. Maybe it's more just a case of finding that balance between conformity and being true to yourself. I'm not sure it's necessarily wanting to go to one extreme or the other, but maybe just trying to find where that balance is. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I think that there is a little bit more like emotion in describing society, because when you don't say that it's an aberration of this world if you actually want to belong to it, you know? It's kind of a still negative description.
Yeah, that's true. But could he not be the aberration of this world that he tried to deal with?
Yeah.
As opposed to society being the aberration of the world. I don't know, could go either way.
Yeah, it could be. I think I have like a more positive view about this person. I wish him better life than to feel himself an aberration of the world.
Yeah.
But then in the end, it says like the righteous anger boiling inside of us. So it's more of a group of people, not just one person.
That's true.
It's still a call, don't fear to let it out. So it's like a call also to more than one person, probably.
That's true. Could be.
Like actually when I like reading those lyrics and listening to the song, I kind of have like when you start thinking about society, like I can relate to the song in a way that when I start thinking about society, I just feel so disappointed. Because when you read all this history, so that it's all started from like really small villages and stuff, and those people, they had no rules, and then now we are born in this time, and we're already born into this like structure where everything is so regulated, like, and you have no say in it. Like all those people, the prehistory, the ancient people, they had a say in, when to get up, what to do, and whatever. But now it's all so settled.
Just a cog in a machine.
Yeah, it's all set up, and you're like, why? Why it all came to, to this, and now it's just so complex, and you can't fight at all. You can't even fight even small part of it, because it's part of the whole like structure, and the whole world is gonna fight against you. So even like small things, you just have to. The only thing that you can do is basically to fit in, to try to fit in, which is not always an easy task.
Yeah, it's easier for some than for others. Some people naturally have a set of characteristics that are easily transferable, and other people just don't.
Yeah, exactly. And also, even if they have this set, it doesn't mean that they're happy when they fit in. Maybe they're not even happy. Maybe, okay, they fit in and they are perceived as happy and accomplished. But are they, like, do they really feel comfortable? You never know. So...
I owe myself life. Maybe there's a bit of a similarity there. So, I could interpret that I owe myself life as a just in isolation from the rest of the song, not just fitting in because you can, but being what you actually want to be, living the way you actually want to live.
Yeah, creating the life that you actually want to, and you're comfortable with. That's really hard. I mean,
I was going to say it's easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, it can be the whole life dream.
Yeah. And it's especially once you gain more responsibility, like once there's family and children and stuff, especially, then it's all good and well just like living for you and being a free spirit and doing what you want when it's just you. But then when there's other people that depend on you, it becomes more and more and more like structure around you that you
No,
can't break free?
I don't even want to think about it because you end up like making decisions for other people, but then what if they didn't want that kind of life, they wanted something else, and you are actually responsible not for sort of making their life, but for making them able to pick their own life. I don't even know how it's possible, how it works, to make them, enabled to make that choice.
Communication. Always go on about communication.
Well, I'm not a psychologist, but...
No, but seriously, if like we can't guess, and this extends to any like relationship, any type of relationship, you can't guess what each other wants. You can try, but you're going to get it wrong a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you just openly communicate with people, then you got a much better chance of getting it right. What exactly do people want? Again, not perfect, because sometimes people don't know what they want themselves, but...
Yeah, they'll just have to figure out, listen to themselves.
Okay, we're going off topic now.
Yeah, we're really off topic.
So, overall, enjoyable or just too much for you?
That's really too much for me.
Okay.
Well, I did enjoy the clean vocals, and the whole idea of the song is interesting. But especially when you start, like, when it is a starting point and you start, thinking about the repercussions of it and the consequences and all the things that are related to this topic, that can inspire a good discussion. Yeah, but that's a bit of a shock. Let's get into lighter stuff.
Too much drumming. Is the drumming specifically, or even the guitar?
I don't even know where one ends and another begins. I think it was all in one.
So instrumental overload.
Yeah, it's just too much at once.
Okay, well we'll scale it back, but I think in time we can build you up to this. I mean, I certainly didn't start out day one being able to listen to very complex and overbearing stuff like this. It's a process.
Yeah, just it will take a little bit more wine. Okay.
Cool. See you again next time.
Thank you for watching.